Okay, so I think we'll get started, and obviously people will enter the room as they do if we have any stragglers. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Stephanie Foner, and I work in the Office of Alumni Relations at Northeastern. And I work on our affinity and domestic engagement team, bringing events and programs to our wider Northeastern community. Very excited to have you all joining us today. Just a couple housekeeping items that I've shared kind of throughout as folks have entered, but bear repeating. The best way to experience this program is by having your view on speaker view. So I definitely recommend going to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom box, clicking view, and selecting the speaker view. Please also keep yourselves muted throughout the duration of the program. If you're having any challenges or any issues, I'm going to be keeping an eye on the chat box, so you can go ahead and put your questions or any needs into the chat box. This program is being recorded and everyone will be sent a recording most likely 48 hours after to revisit. And then lastly, please keep yourselves muted and feel free to also turn off your cameras to really kind of experience this moment. Stacy, I'm sure, can give a better explainer of that when the time comes. But for now, I am thrilled to be turning the floor over to one of our wonderful alumni volunteers, Taisha Smith, who is calling in from Phoenix. This event was actually her inspiration. So I thank her for bringing this idea to us. And I am happy to turn the floor over to Taisha.
Thank you, Stephanie. Hi, everyone. As Stephanie mentioned, I am Taisha Smith. I am out of Phoenix, Arizona. I am one of the community leaders within the Alumni Association, and I'm really excited to be here today. I hope you guys are enjoying the Husky Wellness Week. This is kind of awesome. I want to welcome you all to the session today that we're going to have on meditation to cultivate peace of mind. I think this is something that I think we can all agree we need, given how incredibly disruptive the past 14 months have been for us all. I just want to kind of take a moment to kind of plug the Alumni Association for a minute. Events like these are just one of many reasons to get and stay connected with the Northeastern Alumni Network. Stephanie will post into the chat a link to the Alumni Association Network website. If you can just take a few minutes of your time to just take a look at that, there's within that site, there's a lot of different ways to get connected. You can get connected either by location, you can get connected to fellow Huskies by interest, etc. But take a look at the site. I think it would be useful for you all to just get and remain connected. But without further ado, I want to just introduce Stacy to you guys. She is going to be our instructor for today. Stacy Hernandez is a double Husky. She graduated from Northeastern in '98 with her BA in history. And in 2001, she graduated again with her MS in school administration. Stacy has studied a variety of modalities and has worked with healers and teachers of many styles of yoga, meditation, energy medicine, indigenous and ancestral healing. Wow, that's so awesome. I'm really looking forward to learning from you today. She currently owns a spiritual coaching business called The Real You Project and has been in the field of college admissions and college counseling for over 20 years and owns a business called The Best You College Admissions Consulting. Everyone, please give Stacy a warm Husky welcome. Welcome, Stacy.
Thank you. And I also married a Husky. My husband also went to Northeastern, and so it's very incestuous with my background with Northeastern. And I have a high school student looking at Northeastern for college. We'll see. It's changed a lot over the years in terms of admission, but Anyway, so thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm super excited to be here. Thank you, Taisha, and thank you, Stephanie, for the invitation, and super psyched to be here. We did this in an abbreviated version of this not too long ago, and it was awesome. The way it just allowed people to go deeper within. And so you may have some experience in meditation. Some of you may have experienced meditation through a class, or through a podcast, or through some type of recording, or through a yoga class or something like that. If you haven't, welcome. If you have, this style you may find a little differently. What I find is what we are being called to, or how we are connecting right now, is that the meditation we do is more about not stilling the mind, but more around the guided meditation piece, the guided imagery, the journeying. And so, like, shamanic medicine and a lot of indigenous practices, and my indigenous background, I have a Lakota background and a Hanushani or Iroquois Seneca background. In a lot of those traditions, you are taught to journey into places as a part of a deepening into your own inner being, in your own self, your own inner voice. And so meditation can be practiced or taught in different ways. So my version is more, as it explained, guided in. And so that's what we're really going to go into. And the intention is for us to be able to tune deeper into our inner voice. And through that connection to ourselves on that deeper level, that's where the peace and the harmony and the balance and the mental health piece really comes in. And the goal being around really kind of claiming our autonomy, our sovereignty within what we want, what we need, where we stand, being in integrity with who we are, is really what the movement forward is bringing to a lot of us now. We were just even talking about, oh my gosh, going back to the office, or people who are readjusting with this COVID piece and now having to readjust. What does that mean for you with this adjustment now happening again, to kind of coming back into the way it used to be? What does that mean for you? What do you need? And so when we go into this, I'm going to ask that you set an intention for yourself. What do you want to discover more about yourself when we go into this meditation? And so setting an intention, like, let's say, I want to step into getting more clarity around my intuition or my inner voice. I want to know what that looks like. I want that to come to me quicker. I want to be a little bit more sovereign by knowing more instantly what I need, and being able to block out the influences that no longer serve me. Maybe it's, I want a little bit more self-care time in my life. Maybe your intention is that. Bringing that intention in is going to help bring more clarity to you. So that's what we're going to kind of move into as we go into this. So I will prompt you to consider an intention within this practice that we're going to do today. So getting yourselves comfortable in whatever way that looks like for you. So that can be sitting in a chair, but allowing yourself to rest back or lean back a little bit more comfortably. If you want to lay down, some people who practice more meditation in a traditional manner may want to sit cross-legged, whatever is comfortable for you. The guided meditations tend to be that you want to sink into comfort more rather than holding yourself up. So even Stephanie and Taisha, if you want to even clear your screens and go blank so you don't have to be stared at in the video when you're closing your eyes and you're going in. Yeah, just allowing yourself to rest in a comfortable manner. So again, if that means lying on the ground, lying on your bed, or leaning back in your chair, go for it. Starting to get yourself comfortable. And as we get comfortable, I'm going to bring in some of these indigenous practices, some of these indigenous teachings into this experience as well. because these are traditions that I've been taught that help us to go deeper into ourselves. So getting comfortable and starting to breathe. And as you start to breathe, breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. So taking some breaths, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. And as you're muted, you can be as loud as you want with those exhales. You don't need to be, but though that louder exhale just allows you to release. It's kind of like that sigh. If you sigh, it just kind of helps release some of that old stale energy. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. And continuing to breathe in and breathe out. Imagining right in front of you as you're breathing in and out, imagining a bright light right in front of you, the purest, most bright light that you've ever seen right in front of you. And this bright light is a flow. It's just this natural flow. It's like a stream or a river, this light stream that's just moving by you right in front of you. And it's slowly flowing past, but it's endless. It's infinite. This stream of light, this bright stream of light flowing past you. Feel free to connect with it, continuing to breathe in and out through your nose. So connecting with it could be, you can touch it with your hands. You can just observe it and watch it and pay attention to it. Connecting to it in the way that feels right to you. Good. Breathing in and out. And as you resonate with this light and you start to connect with it, imagine in your inhale, you breathe in that light. So you're inhaling, bringing in that light into your body. As you exhale, it spreads throughout your entire system, throughout your entire body. So you're inhaling, bringing it in, exhaling, bringing it and spreading it throughout your whole body, through your whole system, throughout your whole field, even around you. This white light is starting to surround you and fill you up. This is called life force energy, prana, chi. This is that life, the energy, again, life force energy. You're breathing it in, you're bringing in new energy and spreading it throughout your system. And also as you're exhaling, it's releasing the old, releasing what no longer serves you. So inhaling, bringing that life force energy in, that bright light, bringing it in. Exhaling it, spreading it throughout. And also on the exhale, it's releasing a lot of the old stale energy. And as you are doing this breathing, you may start to become aware of your heartbeat. You may notice that your heartbeat is getting stronger. You may be aware of it. A lot of times we go through life not feeling it. But right now with the heavier breathing, you may feel the pulsing of your heartbeat. Feel free to bring a hand to the chest if you want to feel your heartbeat even stronger. You can use your pulses behind your ear, on your wrist to feel your heartbeat even stronger. So breathing in and out, the life force energy is in and spreading throughout your body and starting to bring your awareness to your heartbeat. Noticing the rhythm of your heart, the pulsing of your heart. Yes. That heartbeat is your song. A lot of Indigenous teachers call it your soul song, your imprint in this universe, your soul song. So just feeling the heartbeat. That's your rhythm. Yes. Feeling the heartbeat. And if you need that support to access the actual rhythm of the heartbeat, place a hand on your chest, feel your pulses to get even more connected to the rhythm of the heartbeat. Good, 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 good. And imagine this rhythm going and spreading throughout your whole body. So your whole body is going to pulse at the same rhythm, the same beat. And what we'll do is we'll do this kind of more step by step to help you move through this. So you're starting your heartbeat in your chest, in your heart, you're feeling it. Then place the hands right below in your solar plexus area. So right below the chest, in that area. So right below the rib cage, that's the solar plexus. And imagine the rhythm of your heartbeat now moving down into your solar plexus, and there's a pulsing in your solar plexus. Imagine the heartbeat spreading down to your solar plexus. Yes. And the heartbeat slowly starts to move down to the belly or into the lower level. So lower below the belly button in the pelvis area, it starts to move down to the pelvis area. Imagining the heartbeat, the pulse of your heart moving down, all the way down to your pelvis. And this may feel like a physical sensation. It just may be a knowing. You just may know that this pulsing, this heartbeat is spreading throughout your body. Yes. And then in your root, in your perineum, right in that lowest level between, right between the anus and your kind of private region. We're not going into too much with the recording, but right in that space is your perineum. That begins to pulse as well. That matches the rhythm of your heartbeat. And you can actually pulse that area on your own. It's women, we call it Kegels. But that area is, both men and women can do this. You start pulsing that area and you can pulse it like the rhythm of the heartbeat. And that just moves then throughout the whole system. It goes down the legs, it goes up through the head, it goes out through the crown of your head. This pulsing. Again, this is your soul song. This is your rhythm. This is how you march to your own drum. That kind of saying that this is what you're doing, is you're tuning into your rhythm. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Yes. And this is waking our system up. This is waking our body up. This is waking ourselves up to these higher levels of awareness right now. Getting us out of that kind of linear 3D distraction of the world that we can be in a lot of times. And this is allowing us to reconnect on all different levels. Good. 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 Now, the pulsing is just going to continue on its own. I want you to bring your awareness back to the solar plexus, so that space right below the lungs, or right below the rib cage, the solar plexus area. So we have the heart space, and the heart is our opening. This is our place of pure authenticity, of love, compassion. That's where, again, we hold our soul song. That's where we hold our rhythm. When we move down into the solar plexus, that is our essence. That's our pure light. That is our pure consciousness, if we want to call it. So that light, that is who we are. So when we go down into the solar plexus, imagine tuning into a bright light right closer to the spinal cord, closer to the spine. So a little bit further in, not closer to the surface, but further in, closer to the back. Imagine this bright light. And it's pulsing, it's pulsing at in the same frequency, or the same pulsing of your heartbeat. But within this light, it has a movement as well. So within this bright light, there's a movement. And we're going to imagine this bright light like a golden ocean. So imagining this bright light within us, within our solar plexus, that's the core, that's at our core. When we get to the core of something, that's the foundation, that's the root, that is the level of pure essence. That's the core, that's your core. So imagining this light becoming like a golden ocean. You may see it as a bright light ocean. You may see it more as a golden ocean. For me, I notice it more goldeny. So imagine now this flow like the ocean, the waves coming in and out. Nice. Good. And we're imagining this bright light, this golden ocean. It starts to take over our whole system. It's starting to move through the chest, up past the head. It moves down to all the way down to the feet. It's surrounding us. And you may, to get there even quicker, you may want to start walking in this ocean. Imagine taking one step in, putting one foot in, then the other, and walking up to ankle height through this golden ocean. Then up to the knees. Then up to the hips. Then up to the shoulders. And what you start to do is you start to change your position and lie in it. You start to float in it. Your whole body, your whole awareness is now floating in this gold ocean. And the waves are gently moving back and forth. going in towards the shore and out, and you're just floating in this gold ocean. This is your essence. This is your pure essence you're floating in. And as you are here, just pay attention to what's happening around you. Are you changing form? Are you still a body lying in this ocean? Maybe your body's stretching out. Maybe your awareness is stretching out. Maybe you've lost form and you're just in this ocean floating, but there is no form anymore. You're here in it, and you're just expanding and expanding and expanding. Yes. Continue to breathe, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, unless it feels better to breathe in and out through the nose. If you have to wear a mask right now, if you breathe in through the mouth, if that's more comfortable, whatever you need to do, but breathing in and out as you're in this space, floating, feeling the movement of the ocean moving back and forth. Deeper immersion, fuller infusion. Deeper immersion, fuller infusion. As you're expanding and expanding and expanding and getting more and more comfortable in this golden ocean, you're moving into deeper and deeper layers of you, of who you are, of your awareness. Yes. Yes. As you are here, you may be observing some things around you. You may notice some ocean life. You may notice some loved ones. You may notice some objects. Just paying attention to what you're observing. You may just be in pure stillness and floating. But for some of you, there's actually, how do I describe this? Beings presenting, like loved ones or sea creatures that are presenting. When you start to see things present, there's usually a message in there. There's usually a reason, some information. And this is the time to set your intention. Because now you're in that pure state of presence, the state of all that is. And as you're here, start to set your intention. It can be a question. It can be a statement. Don't make it too specific. I want $1 million. That's not the right kind of intention to set for this state. You can say, I want to tap into more abundance. I want to witness what abundance is, and even a deeper, instead of just even a witness, show me what abundance looks like. Bring abundance into my life if you want it to be something more around abundance. I want to bring self-care into my world more. Show me how to bring that more into my world. So setting that intention. Yes, good, good. That intention is starting to ripple out throughout this ocean. There's a lot of energy being moved. So if you start to feel hot or cold or some tightness or some aches or some pains or sharp pains in certain areas that come and then they go, it's just movement that's happening. It's just energy that's moving through. And as you have this intention set, yes, good, good. So for some of you, what's starting to move through is these gifts that are coming from some loved ones or from some of the sea life. I'm watching a couple of you that like clams are bringing pearls or dolphins are bringing gifts to you. It may feel like that, but what's actually coming forth is an awareness that's starting to become really clear, an opening that's happening. I'm watching for many of you, your hearts are opening at a new level. It's like some of the blindfolds are coming off right now. So these gifts that you are being given, maybe again, it may be a pearl, it may be a gem, it may be a necklace, it may be a book, it may be just an awareness that's coming in right now. What all of this being in this state allows is for these levels to open up and for these messages to come in clearer. And these are all coming from the heart. This is a remembering. This is a remembering of who you are that's happening right now. Yes, good, good. For some of you, there's ancestral pieces that are coming up. So certain teachings that were passed down from your ancestors that are coming forward or being corrected. Certain behaviors that have been passed down from generation to generation are starting to, some light is being shown on those particular behaviors that are now getting cleaned up. So I'm actually just kind of being aware of the ancestral lineage piece that's coming up for some of you that is kind of holding you back from being able to live your life fully because there's certain behaviors from your ancestors that have been brought down and are holding you in place. Yeah, good. So these gifts, who's presenting is giving you information here. It's giving you what I call data sets. Staying in this ocean. If you're getting kicked out, walk back in the ocean. Walk back in so you can lie down and float again. Good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And as you're here, you set your intention and all this movement is happening. You may be aware of thoughts that come to your head, epiphanies, understandings, connections, clearing of just like staleness that's happening. For each of you, it's going to happen a little differently. But a door is opening for each of you with your intention. There we go. Good. Giving yourself a few more breaths here. And as you're lying here in this golden ocean, start to look up. And right above you, each of you are being shown this central channel, this channel of light that goes through you, the central channel. And within it is how you how you express yourself. It allows you to stay within your full expression of who you are. I don't like to call it a chamber. I don't like to call it a protection bubble or anything, because we don't need those sort of protections. What we need to be able to do is fully express ourselves. So in this channel, this is your light. So this is your essence that's going up and down and all around your body. And it goes up through and down through the earth, up through the universe. And this channel is just moving up and down. There's a flow. There's a flow that's happening back and forth, up and down, all around. But within this channel, your awareness is being drawn to being in it. So you're going from the ocean, the golden ocean, into this channel. And you're just feeling the flow of this channel. It's kind of like what's right center in your body. It's like your awareness is in the center of your body that goes up and down through your body. And you're in this channel now. And you're feeling the flow. You're feeling the flow that goes up through your head and out. You're feeling the flow that goes down through and out through your lower levels. You're just being aware of the flow of this channel. And as you are here in this channel, just being aware of if there are any doors open. Do you see any cracks? Do you see any windows open, any doors? If you notice anything that the energy is leaking out, the light is leaking out within this channel, close those doors, seal those cracks, shut those windows. And what this does is it allows you to hold yourself in integrity and stops the influences from the external that impact your choices that are right for you from coming in. So you're just being aware of this channel, closing up anything that feels like it's not you. Good. Good. And now that golden ocean flows right through. This is your essence. It flows right through. Good. Yes. And you start to slowly move back down into the ocean, but this time your feet first back in the ocean. And you're slowly going to start walking out of the ocean. Good. Step by step, walking out of the ocean. And as you walk out of the ocean, you may feel the heartbeat again stronger. You may or may not. That's your rhythm again. Some people feel it like drum beats. If you ever hear any indigenous drumming, a lot of it is based on the heartbeat. Yeah, good. And as you come out of the water, be aware of what's happening around you. Feel the sensations that are presenting within you and around you. Look around, see if you're noticing anything. Feel the sensations in the body surrounding you. It's like a layer has been removed off of you. There's a softening that's happening. Yeah. And coming back to your breath. Good. And as you're breathing, this is a little non-traditional, but very traditional in my world. I'm going to sing a song. It's an indigenous song. I'm going to sing it because I'm being called to do it, and it's just going to help seal everything up as we go through this. Just helps with kind of creating more of that harmony and anchoring this in to your body. Atewa kantanka welo helo e aheo. Atewa kantanka welo helo e aheo. Atewa kantanka welo helo aheo. Heyo he, heyo he, heyo heyo heyo. Coming back into your heart, into your heartbeat. Good. And start to tap your fingers, like your fingertips together. Starting to tap, 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 tap. That kind of starts to bring you back more into the present. There we go. Good. Nice. Good. And you can stay in this state if you're called to. You can start to slowly come out of it. But before you do, what I want to have you imagine is you're in your heart space right now. You're still in that heartbeat. And you're imagining like calling yourself back. It's like an echoing of your name. You're calling yourself back. That brings your awarenesses all back. Because sometimes when we get into these blissful states, we want to stay there. We don't want to come back. We don't want to go back to work. So it just brings us all back together, brings us back into our heart space. So just imagine from your heart, you're just echoing your name, and that kind of brings all your awareness back into your body, back into your space. There we go. Good. And then imagine just claiming, this is my body, this is my space. So just from your core, that solar plexus area, bringing your awareness there and just claiming. It's a feeling of claiming, this is my body, this is my space. And that just anchors it all in. Yes. And that just kind of helped light the match for that intention to really be worked, to really start moving and moving through. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, there we go. It'll be interesting to see how this intention starts to manifest in your life over the next few weeks. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, I think I went a little over, but hopefully it wasn't too much over the time frame. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's hard to come out of these. So if you feel like you're in a little bit more of like an alternate reality right now, that's why I try to have you bring yourself back in more. But if you need to stay in this space, allow yourself to stay in it. If you have the luxury of getting a little nap in, that's great. You may need to just be and sit in this for a little longer. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much, Stacy. In support of that movement, I'm going to leave the room open for just a few extra minutes so that folks can take the time they need to come out without it being a jarring transition. So we will leave this open for just a couple minutes. Also, want to thank Taisha again for being the inspiration that brought us all together today. Stacy, thank you for your words and your guidance. And thank you to all of you for joining us.
Thank you guys. Stacy, you had me going. Notice I don't even have my glasses on anymore.
I see that. Woo! I did realize, I thought nice, awesome. I thought I actually had less time, but I did. I actually still would have had a few minutes. So I'm glad I kind of wrapped up now, because this gives people that time to adjust. Please let me know if there's any questions. Actually, while we still are here, if there's anything that came up for you, like a thought that came up, or some kind of awareness, or some kind of sensation that came up that you're like, whoa, this happened to me in this, let me know, because a lot of times I can kind of track that into understanding it at a deeper level. So, but if anyone has questions about it, yeah.
I panicked a little bit in mine. I started I just noticed that there was like a brief moment where I felt like I was panicking. Like
Yes.
my heart raced a little bit, and I just noticed it. Like, wow, what am I panicking about? What is going on? Like, what am I thinking that's causing this panic feeling?
Yes. And that is this is what I'm talking about. Like, notice your sensations, because that is actually a really important data set into information about what holds you back, or where there was like a fear of going into that deeper level of yourself. And having that come up and being aware of it helps to dissipate it and move it through. Was it around the time when you were going into the ocean?
I was in the ocean.
Yeah.
I was in the ocean. Yes.
Yes. Because the ocean really represents your essence. That represents, like, for some, okay, I can kind of talk about it on different terms without going religious or anything, but that's your soul. Like, that's your light, whatever you believe in. And so what that is that's you connecting at that deeper level of understanding who you are. And so there is a fear of going into that on an unconscious level that we are not aware of. We want to get there. We want to get to a place where we have a strong intuition, and we know, we fully can express who we are and not care about what others think and what pressures we have from other influences, but we fully are autonomous in how we make choices. But there's a fear in that too, because when you get to know who you are, then there's no other excuses around you. It's you. So I can see there's just a little bit of a hesitation to sink into it, but that opened up a lot. Like you went in.
I did.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really big. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
There was something about listening to you breathe, though, that was really
hard or good.
No, it was good. It was good. It was helping me.
Good. I purposely do it. And I actually, when I do this work, I breathe a lot, because I've been trained by some elders, and I've been trained that you bring the breath of life in. So that white light stuff we were talking about, that's that, like, the life force energy. You bring it in through me, and I breathe it out so it can go into others. It's not my energy going in, it's the light or the life force energy going in. So it's a way of helping, being the bridge to the channel for others. So yeah, but that and if you ever taken a yoga class, a lot of teachers do that. They emphasize their breathing, and it helps. It helps you get clearer. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Anyone else want to bring up their observations or their pieces? I know it's really hard after these to, like, even think. Just, like, reconnect.
Yes, if anyone else would like to share, please feel free. You could also put it in the chat box if you're not feeling so plugged in at the moment. But please feel free to unmute yourself if anyone would like to share.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Just in general, in meditation wise, sometimes it can be very difficult for me to get still, both physically and mentally.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm like, okay, this is a good time. I'll start meditating. And then suddenly all these thoughts keep racing into my head.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you had some advice on what to do when that happens.
Yes. When the thoughts are like your to-do list, your work, you're like thinking about your relationship, thinking about this or that, when it's those, what I call those 3D or linear thoughts versus a thought around like an epiphany, like you come up to an understanding, or when you get those kind of thoughts that are like more about that aren't like allowing you to sink in more, a couple of things. redirecting, like acknowledging, okay, I see this thought is there. All right, now I'm going to go back in. What I find is that for a lot of people, the stillness isn't the right style of meditation, but it's more guided meditations, because then or the journeys that keeps you going and going to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. There's a woman named Denise Lynn. She's a Cherokee medicine woman that she has a lot of guided meditations that are like 5-7 minutes. I have them on my iMusic. And Denise Lynn, and I believe it's Linn, and she does these, like, you're walking down a path, you get on this raft, you go down the water. It's the same thing. It's getting you out of your head. It's sinking you in deeper. So I would encourage you to consider some of these, like these podcasts, or these like these whatever soundtracks or whatever, that are guided meditations. And that will then, with practice in that, then you'll notice that you start to have more stillness. And I practice, I've been practicing for a long time. I still get my to-do list that goes through my mind. Oh, I got to pick up my kid in 5 minutes, or whatever it is. Those sort of pieces, what I have to do is I have to go back into, okay, I'm going to walk back in the water, but I never do anymore. I'm going to be pure silent stillness anymore. It just doesn't work for me and for a lot of people. So I have to do some kind of, the reason why I use the word journey is because in shamanic medicine, which comes from different indigenous practices, in shamanism, they do journeys, and the journeys is what takes you deeper into, and that's why, so either guided meditation or journeys are, I think, a good approach. So Denise Lynn, Wayne Dyer also has some really great, and Wayne Dyer is Dyer. He's got the same thing. He's got Wayne Dyer has an app, and he passed away, but he still has all of his stuff, great books, great soundtracks, and what I mean by soundtracks are, like, you can get the meditations in like iMusic or Amazon Music or whatever. But what I like about Wayne Dyer is he does more sound. So like he'll do tones where, like, your meditation is doing a tone like Om or something like that. That again, doing something during your meditation rather than just stilling your mind can really help redirect you. So, yep, great question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Well, I think that's all for us today. Thank you
Yes.
again, Stacy. Thank you again, Taisha, and thank you again to all of you for joining.
I just typed their names in the chat box too, just so you have them.
Great. Thanks
So you
so much.
guys can look at them up. But thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it. And thank you guys for offering this.
That was fantastic. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. We should do more of these. Nice, Kay. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, all
Thank
right.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.